Hello, my name's Jen, and welcome to your practice today. Today's sequence is called Root to Rise. We're going to emphasize stability and strength through the legs and through the feet. And our peak pose for today's practice will be side plank pose with the option for the variation that includes the tree position. So we are beginning in tabletop pose. The blanket can go across the center of the mat, and the blocks can be placed near the front short side out to the right and left sides of the yoga mat. And then we're going to find our way into tabletop shape. So taking the hips, lining them up over the knees, the hands slightly wider than the shoulders, spread through the fingers. Breathing in, begin to release the belly button down toward the floor, lifting up through the center sternum in a slight lift of the chin. Now, as you begin to exhale, you're going to bring your spine a little more into neutral while you press the balls of the feet into the mat and move your sitting bones back toward your heels to stretch out through the toes and the arches of your feet. Inhale, let your hips rise back up. Releasing the belly down to the floor, tops of the feet meet the mat as the heart lifts up. Exhale, press your hands down, more neutral in the spine. Press the balls of the feet into the mat, sending the sitting bones back toward the heels as you compress the front body in toward the thighs. Inhale to rise up. Tops of the feet meet the mat as you release your belly. Exhale, press the balls of the feet into the mat. Sink the sitting bones back toward the heels. Fold inward. Two more times. Inhale, rise up. Release through the belly. Lift through the heart. Exhale, press the balls of the feet into the mat. Sink the sitting bones back toward your heels. Inhale, rise up. Tops of the feet meet the mat as you release your belly. Lift up through your heart. And last time, exhale, press the balls of the feet into the floor, curling those toes as the sitting bones sink toward the heels. Inhale to rise back up to all fours. As you arrive in the tabletop shape, pick up the right knee so that you can move the right foot out to the right, landing it off of the yoga mat. Begin to shift weight into the right hand as you extend your left knee into modified side plank, bringing the left hand down to the left hip and the outside of the left thigh. Anchoring down through the right hand, and as you feel that sensation of rooting down, feel a sense of lightness rise up through the right arm and up through the chest. Now, as you inhale, you're going to create some half circular motions with this left arm. So, circling that left arm around till it comes long by the ear. And then as you exhale, bring it back down. Left hand once again connecting to the hip. Inhale, circle sweep the left arm around as the arm comes by the ear. Engage the right side of the body and lift up through the left side. Exhale as the left hand comes back down. One more time, breathe in, circle sweep your left arm, slightly engage the right side of the body as you lift the left side of the body upward toward the sky. As you exhale, let's take the top left arm, circle it up, bring it down, let it sweep down in front of the belly as the left hand and the left knee come back down into the shape of the table. One cat-cow. Inhale, release through the belly, lift up through the heart, and exhale, press your hands down. Take your tailbone under, arc and round through your spine. Inhale to find neutral. Picking up the left knee, move the left foot off to the left, extend through your right knee, inner edge of the right foot coming to the floor, right hand coming down, connecting to the outside of the right hip. Press down into the left hand. So we root through the left hand, and then we feel this sense of lightness rise up through the left arm, openness across the chest. Breathe in, sweep your right arm up, stretch it long by your ear, contract the left side of the body as you open through the right. Exhale, circle the right arm back down. Hand can come, light connection to the hip. Inhale, circle sweep that right arm up and along the side of the face. Exhale as that right arm sweeps back down. Last time, inhale, circle sweep the right arm. Contract the left side of the body while the right arm reaches. Exhale, circle your right arm around. Let the right arm sweep down in front of the belly, right hand and right knee coming back down to the shape of the table. Inhale, release the belly down toward the mat. Lift up through the center sternum. Exhale, press the balls of the feet into the mat. Tone the navel into the spine. Downward facing dog. Knees lifting up. Sitting bones rising up and back. Pedaling out through your knees and through your feet. Inviting a sense of openness up through the arches of your feet, the backs of your ankles, up through the region of the calf muscles, all the way up through the hamstrings and the gluteals. Now, we're going to let the weight start to shift into the left ball of the foot, maybe with a soft bend in the left knee. Inhale, sweep your right heel up into downward facing dog, split right heel, reaching high. As you exhale, curl your right knee in toward your chest, step your right foot through, coming toward that right wrist. Now the left hand can stay on the mat, or you can reach to the side, slide a block beneath the left hand, and sliding your right hand up to your right hip as we begin to initiate revolved high lunge. Be mindful of this left shoulder. So sometimes as we turn the belly to the right, the left shoulder head draws forward. We want to keep the left shoulder more in neutral, so the left side of the chest is open. Possibly stretch your right arm up toward the sky. So we're rooting through the left hand to rise up through the right arm and right hand with a sense of lightness. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, let your right hand come down. So put a little softness in that back left knee. We're going to rise up to warrior lunge. So you're going to inhale, scoop your arms up, the sides of the body, stretching your fingertips up toward the sky. Draw the tailbone down. Exhale, cactus your arms, lift up through the center sternum and maybe a slight lift of your chin. Inhale, send your fingertips back up. Exhale, frame the front right foot. Set the blocks to the side, step your right foot back. Downward facing dog, a gentle pedal through your knees, through your feet. Shifting the weight now into the right ball of the foot, maybe with some soft bend in the right knee. Inhale, send your left heel up into down dog split. So press strong into both hands to feel the light rise of your left heel upward. Exhale, curl your left knee in to the chest, stepping the foot lightly toward the left wrist. Bring a block possibly beneath the right hand as the left hand first comes up toward the left hip. So you start initiating the twist, turning through the belly button, the ribs, the heart, staying aware and mindful of the tendency of the right shoulder to come forward. So keeping that right side chest open, maybe sending your left arm up toward the sky, pressing down into the right hand to give a feeling of lightness through the left arm and left hand. Exhale, left hand is coming down, a little bit of softness in that back right knee. Inhale, scoop the arms up through the sides of the body as you rise up, grounding down through the legs and the feet as those arms extend upward by the sides of your face. Exhale, cactus your arms. Bend the elbows, open the chest. Inhale, send your fingertips high, tailbone down. Exhale, frame your left foot. Move the blocks, step back, downward facing dog. Walk out through your knees, pedal out through your feet. Okay, take in your next breath in, rolling your hips forward out into the plank position. Knees remaining up or lower them down for modified plank. Exhale, bend the elbows and lower the body down to the floor. Keep the hands tucked underneath of the low chest for locust pose. Draw the tailbone down. Root down through the belly. Rise up through the heart and through the legs. Locust position. Draw the chin slightly in so the gazing point is down toward the floor, and maybe elevate the hands momentarily away from the yoga mat. Breathe in. Keep the heart lifted. Exhale, hands come down. Tops of the feet come down. Inhale, curl up a little higher, cobra position. Exhale, downward dog or rolling first through table and then into downward dog. Root through the hands, rise up with the sitting bones. Inhale, weight goes into the left ball of the foot, right heel reaches up toward down dog split. A few new knee contractions here. Exhale, curl your right knee in toward your right ribs. Shift your hips forward into the crouching plank pose. Press strong into the hands as the hips rise. Inhale, downward dog split. Exhale, curl your right knee in. Shift your weight forward. Draw your shoulder blades apart, round your back. Inhale, downward dog split. Exhale, curl your right knee into your chest, round your spine. Inhale, downward dog split. Exhale, curl your right knee into your chest. Step your right foot near your right wrist. Now, before we rise back up into that warrior lunge, we want to take a slightly shorter stance. So take that left foot an inch or two forward. Inhale, scoop the arms up the sides of the body. Rise up into lunge. Draw the tailbone down, bringing the prayer hands together and into the heart. Start to lean the body forward a bit toward the front right thigh. Now we're going to press off that back left ball of the foot coming into stork position. So bend the left knee deeply, press off the foot, hug the left thigh in toward the ribs, root down through the right foot and rise upward through the spine and through the crown of the head. Taking another inhale, engage the low front ribs in. Another exhale. Inhale, left foot comes down, arms sweep out and all the way up, extend in mountain position. Prayer hands come together, bend the knees, fold forward over the legs. Arriving in the forward fold, inhale, hands to the blocks, the shins, or maybe even the yoga mat as you lift the belly, elongate out through the crown of the head. Exhale, plant the hands downward facing dog. Arriving in the downward facing dog, inhale, roll the hips forward, coming into the plank pose. Knees up or knees down. As you begin to exhale, bend the elbows and lower the body down to the floor. If the knees are up, be sure to shift more toward the tips of the toes. Tucking those hands underneath of the low chest, inhale, root down through the belly. Draw the tailbone down as you rise up with the chest and the legs. Feel the lightness that comes from that sensation of rooting down into the foundation around the navel center. Soften your eyes and stay here with the hands or elevate the hands momentarily away from the floor. Breathe in. Now, as you exhale, chest stays lifted, hands come down, spread the fingers. Feet come down, press downward. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, we're moving to down dog, possibly first through table and then downward dog. Okay, we're going to shift the weight into the right ball of the foot. Inhale, send your left heel up into downward facing dog split. Now, as you exhale, curl your left knee in toward your chest. Round through your spine as your weight shifts forward. Press the hands and feel your hips lift up. Inhale, right heel lifts back up into downward dog split. Exhale, curl your left knee in. Press your hands down, draw your belly button in and round the back body. Inhale, send your left heel up, downward dog split. Exhale, curl the left knee in, round the back. Inhale, send your left heel up, reach long through your spine. Exhale, curl the left knee in, step the left foot through toward the left wrist. Slightly shortening the stance by taking the right foot 1 to 2 inches forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up the sides of the body, rising up into that warrior lunge. Prayer hands connecting. Draw the prayer hands down into the heart. Focus the eyes ahead. Lean the torso slightly forward and draw those low front floating ribs together. Bend the right knee, press soft, stork pose. Right knee and thigh hooking in toward the right ribs. Press strong into the left foot as you rise upward through the crown of the head. Deep round of inhale. Deep exhale. Release the right foot down. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up. This time, prayer hands simply connecting and bring the prayer hands down into the heart. We're going to shift the weight now into the tree position. So we're going to start by placing the weight into the right foot. Now, please know you can keep the left ball of the foot down on the mat so that the left heel hooks into the inner right ankle. You could even do that with a block where you place the block underneath of the ball of the foot and bring the heel up a little higher. You might take your foot and maybe rise it up to the inner calf or lift it up and place it above the knee so that the foot comes to the inner thigh. So we're pressing solidly down through the right foot and the inner right thigh is drawing into the foot. If the foot is down a little lower, just imagining that the foot is on the inner thigh and engaging that thigh in to align your right hip over the knee and ankle. Root down and then maybe rise upward with the arms, extended arms in the tree shape. Steady the gaze. Relax your forehead. Take another inhale. And exhale. Slowly releasing your arms, slowly releasing your left leg, being mindful if that block is there. So you can take your feet about hip bone distance apart and just take a gentle bounce in the knees and extend and bend your elbows a few times. All right, we're going to come into tree pose on the second side. So beginning now to shift the weight into the left foot. Right foot coming up, maybe with the ball of the foot down on the mat, or you can bring the ball of the foot into the block and the heel can gently press into the inner calf region. You can bring the foot up a little bit higher, or you can reach for the right ankle, catch hold, and place the right sole of the foot at the inner left thigh. Ground down through your left foot. So energize all the way down through the four corners of the left foot and press the inner left thigh into the right sole of the foot, or even just imagining the right sole of the foot there and engaging that thigh inward to align the hip over the knee, knee over the ankle. Prayer hands together initially. Feel free to stay here or send those arms upward, rising upward through the arms and hands, giving a sense of lightness and ease to the pose. Okay, deep inhale and exhale. Slowly releasing the arms, slowly releasing the right foot. That gentle bounce across the knees. Extend and bend the elbows a few times. Breathe in Taking the body into the mountain pose, lift up through the 10 toes momentarily as you root through the four corners of each foot. As those toes come back down to meet the earth, breathe in and circle sweep your arms around and up. Exhale, prayer hands connecting and coming through the heart as you bend the knees and fold the body forward into the legs. Shifting the blocks if needed, bringing them forward, hands to blocks, shins or the floor. Lift the belly, reach out long through the crown of the head, and exhale, downward facing dog. Fold in, plant the hands, step the feet into downward dog. Then we're moving into side plank. Now, a few options here. One is the modified side plank that we did at the beginning. So the knees could come down, right knee could lift, right foot could shift off, carrying you to modified side plank. You could also inch the toes back 1 to 2 inches and start to swivel the heels over to the right, landing more weight in the right hand so that the left hand can come up to the left hip. So you do want to make sure that the feet are far enough back so that you have space for the body to come into side plank. Now the feet can stay separated in that where both feet are down on the floor, outer edge of the right, inner edge of the left. You might stack the inner edge of the left foot on the right foot. Or for the tree variation, you kind of got to bend in both knees a bit, lifting that top left knee upward toward the underarm, reaching to catch hold of the shin bone, placing the foot on the inner right thigh, and then pressing the inner right thigh up into the left sole of the foot to lift the hips, root down through the right hand, rise up with the left arm. Engage the pubic bone up toward the belly button to stay strong in the low belly. Breathe in. Exhale, slowly releasing the left foot back down, slowly bringing the left hand down as you come back through the center. Take the knees down to the mat for a moment. Go wide with the knees, big toes together. Child's pose. Walk the hands to the left long side of the mat and open up through the right side body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale as you come back through the center. We're going to come up to all fours, tabletop. Now, if you're taking the modified side plank, you can pick up your left knee, move your left foot off, and head into modified side plank from there. Otherwise, release the belly down and lift up through your heart. Exhale, press into the balls of the feet. Lift your knees, downward dog. Now you want to inch your toes back 1 to 2 inches. Now as your heels swivel over to the left, more weight comes into the left hand. That revolved high lunge we did here is really, earlier in the pose, really key here, because this left shoulder, we want to avoid it popping forward. It stays more neutral. Now the feet can stay apart, or the right foot can come to stack on the inner edge of the left. Staying there, you can bend your knees just a bit. That's going to help to pick up the right foot, hug the right knee up toward the underarm, and as mindfully as you can, reach with your right hand to your shin bones, placing the right sole of the foot on the ankle. As that happens, you might end up moving the hand a little closer to the ankle. Press the inner left thigh into the right sole of the foot to give rise to your hips, and send your right arm up toward the sky. Side plank pose with tree variation. Engaging through the left side body, feeling the openness through the right, rooting through the left hand, and giving rise to the right. Take a breath in and a last breath out. Now be mindful as you transition, so slowly releasing that right foot back out, slowly releasing the right hand down to swivel through the center and lower the knees down. Knees go wide, big toes come together. Sitting bones sink toward the heels. Walking over toward the right. Just side stretching child's pose. Stretch out through the left side body. Deep inhale and exhale. Okay, and then coming back through to the center. Okay, and then we're gonna let the hips rise up through tabletop. We're gonna come around to a seated position, so possibly facing the long side of the mat so we can take seated wide angle. So you might fold your blanket up a time or two. Sit up on the edge of the yoga blanket, which gives your pelvis a little more mobility. Send your legs open, wide angle position. So you might take your hands back behind the legs, press into the fingerprints, and get nice and light up through the crown of your head. You can stay right here in this position. This may give you enough openness through the inner legs without even folding in. Otherwise, the hands might come to the inside of the legs as you start to hinge your body forward, coming into the wide leg forward fold. Stopping anywhere along the way, maybe pausing for an extra breath or two. After those brief pauses, you may end up staying where you are. That may feel appropriate to take the hands and take them another inch or two forward. Last round of inhale and exhale. Slowly beginning to walk the hands back in toward the body, bringing your shoulders so that they're up over your hips, leaning back into your hands, letting your legs come to cross-leg position. As you arrive there with the legs in the cross-leg position, take your left ear, bring it down towards the left shoulder. Stay there. Place your left hand above the right ear, right on the right side of the head as the right side of the head lifts upward into your hand. Releasing the left hand, floating the head back through the center, and taking the right ear down toward your right shoulder. Right hand can stay down, or you can lift it up, placing it on the left side of the face, lifting the left side of the face upward into the hand. Releasing the right hand, floating the head back up through the center. Let your palms turn to face upward on your thighs. Draw your chin slightly in toward your chest. And then float the head through the center in a slight tip upward. Draw the chin down and toward the chest. And then a slight lift upward toward the sky. And then draw the chin so that it's parallel to the floor. Taking just a minute here to stay aware and focused with the flow of the breath. The root to rise helps us to feel a sense of steadiness, balanced with a sense of lightness. As you feel ready, let your hands come together, joining at your heart center in prayer. The light within me bows to that same light that exists within you. Namaste.